You better be reading this, miners. Don't come here. I don't know. I don't even think I get enough viewers for miners to be here. I don't know. Hello, everyone. It is me. I am me. Just a man or a boy. Whatever you want. I'm like, some people I'm young, some people I'm old. So, it's however you view me as. It's perspective, guys. Just like art. Um. Alright, sorry about the last video. That was a terrible video. The audio was messed up. I'm very sorry about that. Um, and sorry for the huge ass delay. Yeah, I curse sometimes, guys. Hey, you should not have come here. This is it said in the beginning, it is a very explicit game. So there will be words said, okay? I'm not gonna read all the words, maybe. If there's some bad words, I'm not gonna say, but it'll be there for you guys. I'll probably blur it out, maybe. Try, maybe. If I wanna. I don't know. Another, I will mention Co again, because he/she, or they, he, I don't know, he goes by, he's a man of many names, or pronouns. Um, he's also, I don't know, I will leak his information later. he has, he's going to be here one day, I think. Okay, I don't know what else to talk about. Because I know I had stuff. I just don't write down. I don't do script, guys. I just go off what I want to go off. Because, like, I'm here, I read, I enjoy story. You guys enjoy story. Yeah. I don't know if this is loud. If it is loud, I will check. Maybe I should check. Maybe I should. I checked. It's fine. Gonna have an incident like last episode. Okay. What else was there? Oh, yeah. So I am reading this because I like visual novels, and I don't know, it's like a way for me to practice pronouncing words, if you may, and reading loud. College? Oh, that sucks. You don't go to college, kids. I'm saying that as like, don't come here, kids. If you are 18 and are having a leap, whatever it's called, a year of abstinence from school, don't go to college. You will have homework. I don't know, it depends on you. However you get your money, guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were here Wednesday. Hades. That was a long ago. Hades. Voyage. This might be a short story. If it's short, I will go further. The Minotaur dreams. Before Athens and Sparta, there was Crete, where Zeus was born and raised. Wild goats left their cloven marks on its slopes, carved out of cooled magma from the age of Titans. Its soil, rich and hard, bore the promise of prosperity. Crete was a cradle, safe and fertile. For its early mankind, it was for Zeus, first of the Olympians. His son Minos was the first. Made his way there and became its founder and king. When death came for him, Minos made a judge of the dead. His lineage bore many kings for Crete, the prosperous cradle of man. There was another who carried the name of Minos, a man who made a pact with Poseidon, god of the sea. From the foamy waters, the Olympians sent a white bull to signal his favor, and in turn, the man promised to sacrifice it. We are sacrificing the bull, no. But Minos took for himself that which was meant for the gods. For his hubris, Poseidon cursed his household. His wife, Pasiphae, was struck with lust for the beast. In order. What? Wait, no. beast and ordered the legendary craftsman, Daedalus, to craft a hollow heifer. Pasiphae took the bull's lurch, no, and became pregnant with its child. So was born the Minotaur. Hmm. Pasiphae's infamy survives. Crete fell in favor of Athens, which in turn was dragged away by Rome, which too was consumed by time, but Pasiphae's disgrace remains. Much like the tale of the cannibal half-breed she birthed survives. What? But for the Minotaur, she was mom, when she called him Asterion, her starry-eyed son. He drank from her breast, like any boy, and played with his siblings, even if his visage betrayed the sin which begot him. The Minotaur dreams of the vast field of white what? Asphodel flowers, which he'd go with his sister, Ariadne? Ariadne, I'm gonna say Ariadne. Ariadne holding her fingers, where they would sit by a tree, and he'd nap with his head on her thighs. That is Alexa. Why do you gotta interrupt every time? Alexa, stop. Stop. Asterion dreams of Crete, the place of Knossos, Knossos, where he was raised, and of his inescapable fate, the labyrinth crafted by Daedalus, where he met his end. Before the first hairs of the beard would have sprouted where he was fully human, he was carted off to a stone labyrinth deep within one of Crete's valleys. The exit was blocked off, and he was only left with an axe he could hardly raise. Aww. A decade passed before a visitor came. Asterion could no longer think. Language had escaped his mind altogether, so lonely he had become. The visitor, Theseus, had crossed the sea for the Minotaur's head. The hero expected a battle, but only found a beast deserving mercy. Asterion did not reject the hero's pity. At last, he dreams of Asphodel Meadows, its mercy. It's the end of his suffering, but he awakens to a labyrinth again. Oh. Wait. He jumps from dream to a reflection. From dreams to reflection. Masters Jean Mary and Clement. The cold room. The new master. Freedom from darkness. Food and wine. Asterion grabs the dusty sheets. It's been decades since he slept on a bed. He feels no bed sores on his back. Instead of the cold room stench, there's only slight moldy smell of his old room. His lips, half bull, half skeletal, threaten to curl into a smile, but doubt eats him away. Churns in his stomach. The Minotaur unceremoniously rises, and he opens the closet. No matter what comes next, he must work. Work and then work some more. While he checks his garments, he mumbles an old poem from memory. You came, and you did well to me. I longed for you. You brought fire to my heart, which burns high for you. He got clothes. The old clothes don't fit him. The mirror makes it clear how much of a disgrace he is. The gaping, fleshless hole in his skull makes his ichor bubble and threaten to burst from his mouth. He looks better. I mean, like, have y'all ever watched the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Kind of like that, but like, he's better. But he's less of a disgrace than he was the day before. And for the last 80 years, there is some mercy in that. He forces a half smile and goes out. As soon as he steps out, however, his ear flicks. He catches a distant tune, chirpy, one would say, even joyous. It was a faint but unmistakable. Oh, sorry. The smile disappears from his face. Oh, I should have just read that to the last one. I'm sorry, guys. Chapter 3, The Foreman. I'm sorry. Okay. Dust diamonds flow across the room, suspended in time. Merciless daylight pierces the windows. Your mouth is dry, your eyes red. The room is humid and growing hotter under the desert sun. Where are we? Just outside, you hear the clopping of hooves, a very faint but noticeable, as if a certain Minotaur was trying and failing to be quiet. Your phone, about to run out of battery, says it's 6 a.m. Jeez, 6 a.m. That is. You get up and go out to face the day. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit, excited to read today. You might tell. I'm enjoying this. Good morning. Oh. I don't know a voice for him, though. Okay. Good morning, Master. I hope you slept well. Asterion, what are those clothes you're wearing? It's what I used to wear. They may be a tad bit big right now, but that won't last. I'll be back to my old shape before you know it. Hope he is. I thought it was inappropriate enough to have spent a whole day naked in your presence, so this morning I set out to clothe myself. Do you like them? Sorry, I just bit myself. No, we're not gonna do that. Absolutely, you look great. That's some real style right there. You are very kind. I hope you all can tell I don't. Yeah, you hear my northeastern slang, y'all. Yeah, you guys probably can tell I don't have a voice for him. He's getting better, so I don't know. He's not dusty, crusty. He cleaned up, so. Shortly after, Asterion summons a simple breakfast for you. Bread, cheese, and fruit. It is all he can offer for now, seeing as the kitchen is still under repair. You take a seat, while Asterion stands still with his back to the wall, looking at you. So, what do we have to do today? Any chores? There is one, but it is not something Master ought to worry about. The trinket I mentioned last night, the one which can light a pure flame. If Master so wishes, I can search for it, and then we shall be able to restore the hotel. But I can help. Oh, but I can help. It's no trouble. It's not like I have to do anything else to do while you're busy. I obey the Master's will. Since silence hangs around you, the air is heavy as Asterion directs his gaze at you, and the food is set on the table. The meal of fruit, cheese, bread is simple. One could say it's bland and boring, but the Minotaur looks at it with fervor befitting of how thin he is. Saliva drips from his half-exposed jaw. He does not notice at first as it drops onto the floor, but once it starts seeping onto his chin fur, he laps his own cheek to cover the wound. Oh no. His eye goes wide as he realizes what just happened. Asterion looks frightful of your reaction. Don't worry about it. It is a sorry sight. His gaze conveys a sense of dread. It would seem that he fully expects you to be angry at his appalling behavior. What? It's not appalling. You seem hungry, Asterion. Aren't you going to eat? I don't mind sharing a meal with you. It is improper for the servant to eat with the Lord. Master, you need not worry about me. I'll feed after you're done. Is that how your previous master treated you? Yes. That has been our custom ever since, for many centuries, shall we say. Master Jean-Marie was, in particular, quite strict with it. He appreciated order, and hierarchy. In truth, he would even have been appalled had he seen my behavior yesterday, walking around naked, depending on my master's assistance. Wow, this Jean-Marie guy sounds horrible. He was kind, but strict, and at times he would punish my insubordination quite harshly. After all, how else was I supposed to know what I did wrong? But even then, he was among the kinder masters. Oh, that is not kind. Is that really necessary? Couldn't he just talk to you? He believed otherwise. Nonetheless, he had no qualms with treating me well when I exceeded expectations. This sounds horrible. The Minotaur shifts on his hooves and looks down. His eyes grew duller. Uh-oh. He would pet... He would pet the bowl. He would pet me at times, scratch my chin and behind my ears. He could be affectionate. Oh, I enjoyed my time with him. I did. He was a fine master for the hotel. It flourished under his rule. That is what matters. I am happy as long as the hotel is doing well, fulfilling its purpose of providing respite those in need. It is said that being locked away did not hurt nearly as much as seeing the place abandoned. Whether the master treats me well or not, ultimately matters not. It was a sentence to eternal suffering, and to merely exist as I do now is better than I could have been hoped for. Sorry guys, I'm like blinded. So I like Master Jean Mary. He was a good man. It is not my place to comment upon Master's actions. Master Jean Mary would have been furious had he heard this conversation. I suppose I have been awfully chatty today, have I not? I am sorry for troubling the master. No, you're good, bro. You're... Bro. You are not bothering me. I want to know more about you, and well, you are fine company too. Pretty fine company to me too. I mean, like, there's no one else to talk to in this mansion of a hotel. I wish you'd sit here and share the meal with me, but since that's not something you are willing to do, I enjoy hearing you talk. Truthfully so. It is not my place to comment upon your actions, my lord, but with your permission. You nod to the Minotaur. Asterion says no more. After we are done with the meal, the Minotaur retreats to the kitchen to wash the dishes. Only afterwards does he eat. He sits on the floor, cross-legged, and eats with what remains of the food he summoned you. Even though the kitchen is nothing, the cold stone cell in which you met, the air of despondency which surrounds Asterion is so infectious that it almost appears the same. You watch him take his meal of bread and cheese, slowly painstakingly, as the very sensation of eating was somehow foreign to him after innumerable decades left to starve. Oh, I hope he was okay. He was not okay though. Since he only has half his face, you can see the cross section of every emotion as he bites, chews, swallows, his meager meal, trying his best to find an angle which affords him the dignity of not exposing himself any further. Caught as he, I'm sorry, I'm gonna drink some water. Y'all like water, right? Caught as he is between the shame of meeting your eyes, the impropriety of turning to avoid you, and the embarrassment of letting you see inside his mouth as he eats. He struggles briefly before resigning himself to the lattermost option. Unsure of how to further rouse him from his melancholy, you simply allow yourself to share the silence, awkward though it might be. For several minutes, the only sound that can be heard is your own breathing, as well as the occasional splat when the Minotaur misjudges how the room he has to work with, and some half-chewed food falls on the floor. Falls out through the skeletal side of his maw. I'm sorry. You know when you read and just like make stuff in your head? That's me. However, shortly after Asterion chokes down the last morsel of cheese, a sudden sound snaps you both from the shared isolation. You can hear a flute playing outside the apartment, piping away, blithely chipper tune. We got a guest! Asterion fears Flick. He looks up to you and notices you heard it too, and freezes. Paleness creeps from his face. Drops of sweat fall from his brow as it as bits of saliva leak from his half-destroyed mouth. What's that? The Minotaur starts shaking. Oh, never mind. Please don't send me out to the alley. I beg of you. I'm sorry for not mentioning earlier. I was going to, but I was afraid. The torturer is down in the alley and trying to bring me out. Please don't send me out. It takes a while to calm the Minotaur, but eventually he takes you to the source of the hauntingly chirpy song, all the way down the spiral staircase to the very depths of the hotel. Alright, why are we going to the torturer? What are we doing? Asterion follows closely behind you, even if, in theory, he should be the one guiding ahead. The song grows louder as you go down. It is carried upwards by a draft coming from all the way below. The bottom floor is bare rock, a vaguely circular gallery, a single exit leading out of the valley. So far, the entire hotel, even the dilapidated, whoa, I'm sorry, has only given you the impression it was lovingly built. It is not in case for the area at its lowest point. It was precariously carved out of the rock and left behind with an active distaste and carelessness. The sunlight pouring from the outside is harsh to your eyes, accustomed as they are to the darkness of the spiral staircase. In contrast, the song has a jolly touch to it, and it continues to throw Asterion into a nearly panicked state. He is here, the foreman of the labyrinth. He is called Argos. He'll hurt me if I go out, but he can't harm me, the master. Yes, we have power. He can't harm me. We'll protect you. The valley is laid out before you, painted in broad strokes of vivid orange balanced out the blue and golden hues in the sky. It is arid, but there is vegetation here. It is occasionally soothing scenery, compared to the thoroughly lifeless desert around the hotel. It's not lifeless, it looks beautiful out here. The wind even has a tinge of early morning humidity. It would be no surprise finding some new lingering in the brushes. It is quite peculiar. The valley seemed devoid of life when you look down at it from the hotel's lookout, but from up close it is quite different. Just ahead are two rows of marble statues, each one standing 4 to 5 meters tall, and a single statue of a woman pointing the sword in her hand at the hotel's entrance. The song comes from the statue. You look back to Asterion. You can barely make out the blue flame in the cave's darkness. It's a woman, right? No man? Praise the Olympians. The bones showed the truth. A new master is indeed upon us. A gray hand grasps the statue's shoulder, and then a serpentine shape emerges and coils around the woman's neck. I have no idea what to think about you. You look crazy. The weight? Okay, guys. What are you? A snake? A bull? A snow? The wait has been long, my good lord. Oh, how I have anticipated this day, when a human would again rise to fulfill the mission bestowed upon by Athena. Athena? So Athena did this to you? I guess. Athena seems like a type to do this. I have spent many decades lying here, in this valley, as interesting as a dung heap ever since Master Clement left this realm, all by my lonesome. You are crazy. It is as Epic said, the servants never to do their work when the master's hand is no longer over them. For Zeus takes the half the goodness out of the man when he makes the slave of him. Without a master, the Minotaur has failed his duties, the mighty hotel is in disrepair, and the valley's entities have outright vanished. There's no work to do if a master's not around, you see. Okay. Only I remained waiting. But that shall change soon enough. I feel the earth stirring beneath my statues. Before you know it, the old kin of the gods will be among us once more. Now, my good master, do you know your most faithful follower's name? Has the Minotaur informed you of my pedigree? Master has not offered me a greeting nor a word of appreciation, so I can only assume the old bull neglects his duties again. You're about to speak up when he interrupts you, and he continues the speech. Your face says it all. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Argos Panoptes, watcher of the Heifer, worshipper of the Olympians. My pedigree is unmatched. I was born from the labyrinth itself, and there is no no beast capable of evading my tracking. Nor any relic for that matter. Alright, find me the Fountain of Youth. Find me that. The snake holds a metal object under his arm, a set of bronze mirrors. Oh, my master. My eyes are up here. Oh, okay, shut up. Your gaze should have me believe my form has caught your attention. Truly, I am a fine specimen. Am I not? No, you're horrible. Or perhaps you are interested in this fine trinket I scavenged. It is a relic from the ancient times. It focuses on the sun's light into a single beam, generating pure flame, befitting for an offering. Now, just give me all of it. It is called the Mirror of Hestia. Hestia, I know her. That's the goddess of the earth, or the hearth. Keep her appeased, and her blessings will tend to this realm. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I found it here in the valley quite a while ago. Discarded, but not destroyed. I reckon Master Clement threw it off the cliff before his departure. He knew of the mirror's value. Surely, he intended to cause harm. I know for a fact that this trinket here holds quite the importance. Up there in that hotel you have. You see, without this... What? I'm sorry. It's fun doing this. You see, without this, it will remain in a state of disrepair. Only these little bronze dashes can light its sacred hearth. Perhaps it is Master's desire to possess such a thing. Now, it would be my pleasure to be of use. Such is my function to serve the lord of this realm. I shall gladly consider offering it to you, only if Master if only Master realizes a very simple request of mine. It is trivial, insignificant. I merely wish to have 2 minutes with the Minotaur, right here in the valley. Order him to come out and stay for 2 short minutes. I shall not lay a finger on him, that I promise you. I merely wish to become reacquainted with the prisoner. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, he's not gonna hurt him. I'll trust him. But Minos, I don't know. Save. Save. You know what? No, we're not gonna say that. No. Okay. We're gonna, whatever option this is, we're gonna go with it. I mean, I don't know. I think we just like get in the way if he starts to hurt him. I mean, I don't think he can hurt him. He has nothing on him, I think. He just looks naked. Well, what's the harm then? Yeah, exactly. What's the harm? If this will solve the whole situation, then perhaps this is a pragmatic situation. Or solution. Very well. Wait here while I fetch him. Marvelous. I see you are a pious man of noble stock. I like the heroes of old. I shall hold on to my word, Master. You need not worry about me laying a finger on the creature. What? You're a creature too. I'm sorry. You go back inside the cave. Asterion is sitting with his back to the wall, holding his knees close to his chest. Are you that scared? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean this. I'm sorry. Hey. He is wide-eyed, looking up at you with his lower lip trembling. The blue flame in his eye socket billows as if blown by a gale, and the shaking goes from his lip to his entire body. You do not have to worry, he promised you. He wouldn't lay a finger on you. You just have to stay out there for 2 minutes. It's just some talking. The Minotaur does not budge. He remains locked on yours, and wide and panicked. Did you hear what I said? Go stay 2 minutes outside. Asterion jerks his head down, groans, and, as if he pulled by strings, get up and walks out to the valley. Wait. Alright, now I'm scared. Asterion walks out as if resisting each step, at times trying and failing to turn back to you. Argos slithers down from the statue and approaches him. You know I feel truly honored to be in your presence. Such a privilege to be in the service of the gods themselves, to witness eternal prisoner, and to serve under such faithful master, willing to do what's right. It is just as the gods commanded. The jailer delivers the prisoner to his damnation. Let this be my formal introduction. I am this age's Argos Panoptes, here to fulfill my divine duty. Alas, I shall not commence the rites today. Heifer. It would be awfully rude of me to draw blood. Oh, no, draw blood before our Lord. Hey, back up. In a flash, Argos leaps and coils around Asterion, all the while keeping both his hands behind his back. Okay. Oh, but he's still touching him. The emaciated Minotaur thrashes against the snake's grip, but Argos only giggles. Asterion raises his face. I'm sorry, I just realized something. I'll tell y'all later. Asterion raises his face up to his skies, screaming, and in that moment, he seems fully bestial. Bestial? Oh, I'm sorry. A bellowing bull. The beginnings of foam running down his mouth, and his eye bloodshot. I suppose a little love bite would not infringe upon my promise. However, Argos hisses and reveals his fangs, grazing Asterion's neck. The Minotaur tries to fight back, but in response, the snake constricts again and again, leaving his victim breathless and dazed. Hey, you can't hurt him, sir. Asterion stops struggling. It's hard to tell whether he's resigning himself or losing consciousness. Argos keeps his fangs on the Minotaur's neck, applying tension on the skin and feeling out how frail his victim is. Some wind returns to Asterion, and he sobs breathlessly, throaty and sobbing more, akin to a fit of blood-curdling coughing. But Argos does not bite down. A human can live more than 100 years. Look at how youthful our Lord is. Just think of how long his reign will be. 60, 70, 80 more years of fun. I don't think a human can live more than 100 years. Oof. By the time I have my first night with you out here, it will be your wish to never have left that cell, prisoner. And then he lets go of Asterion, slowly releasing his grip. I kept my promise, bull. Not a finger lay on you. I could have injected my venom with the most perfect bite too. Not a drop of blood would have been drawn. But I am a gentleman, you see. It would have been disgraceful for the jailer to witness your disgusting black blood, as much as it would be repugnant for me to taste it. Oh, repugnant. Okay. You may go now. Fluff. You may go now, beast, and take the mirror to your master. That is an order. Hey, you can't order him around. Sorry. Asterion crawls on all fours, back inside, stumbling as he holds the mirror. He's crying against the wall, but Argos beckons you over to talk again. I see now what Master is made of you. You have obsidian. Oh, sorry. I see now what Master is made of you. Made of. You have obsidian eyes, fierce and harsh, as a lord well should. The Olympians themselves must have sent you here, handpicked amongst the most capable humans. I feel truly accomplished. What a privilege it is to bask in your presence. Surely I shall realize my mission alongside you. My duty is simple. I assist the Master in fulfilling his God's given task of enacting the Minotaur's punishment. He was, after all, sentenced to eternal damnation. The lords of old were true heroes. They had their iron fists to do what the gods required, but then came after their lineage of weak-willed degenerates with sacrilegious ideas, offering mercy to the damned. Such childish silliness. That one Master Clement, I'd say he was well returned to form, but so uncreative, merely locking the prisoner in a room, scarcely compares to the might of the olden times. Humans have grown awfully soft over the millennia. It's such a sorry sight. It pains me to think that the heritage of Theseus, Heracles, and Odysseus is wasted. Heroes of old had no hesitation. Heracles' aim was true. With an arrow coated in Hydra's blood, cleaved to the Graion's skull, the monster of the Red Desert. Silver-tongued Odysseus, hero of Ithaca, blinded the Cyclops Polyphemus with a stake and bathed his palace in blood. And last but not least, Theseus beheaded the Minotaur with Crete's sacred labrys. Time and time again, Athena's heroes prevailed over the Poseidon's bestial descendants. Good Master, the triumph of civilization of mankind over chaos. To this day, we honor Athena's and mankind's triumphs. Where here, in the glorious realm, the Minotaur was sentenced to damnation, you see, and torturing him is an act of divine worship. I see, then, what is Master's lineage? Heroism? The glory of mankind? I have no doubt. It must have been Athena herself who sent you here. All of that is said, Master. Allow me to offer my piece of advice. This realm is ruled by a law and contracts. My promise to you, you shall recall it. If Master sent the prisoner out for 2 minutes, I would have gladly considered offering the mirror to you. There is such a catch, you see. I would consider it. I had no obligation to, in fact, give you the mirror. Nonetheless, I delivered it. It is a pleasure to be in the service of a master such as you. Should you further manifest the might of the old heroes, then gladly I follow, and serve thee well beyond my duty. Sorry guys, I sucked with Shakespeare. On that subject, I have what may be an enticing offer, Master. I am sure it will be to your liking, seeing as you comprehend the labyrinth's purpose. I have scavenged this valley for many years, good Master. I am tired of living in this barren earth. If Master bequeaths me a fragment of his power, my lord can summon food, water, and shelter whenever he desires, and I would like the same capacity. Alright, dude, you're not getting food and water from me. If you bequeath me such power and permission to enter the hotel, I promise to make myself useful to you. As I said, I am an expert about this valley. I can procure you all sorts of powerful trinkets, much more than that old thing I delivered to the bull. I assure you, it will be an exceptional profitable to you. What say you, my good lord? The serpent looks deep into your eyes, licking his lips. Or perhaps, yes. I shall take more of your time, my lord. Worry not, in a few days I shall return with an offer. It is not improper to propose master anything for which I have not the definitive terms. How long was that? I don't know. Oh, shall I just keep going? The cave swallows you back into the hotel's depths, a velvety darkness to which your eyes struggle to adapt. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to adjust my seating. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hey. The cave swallows you back into the hotel's depths, a velvety darkness to which your eyes struggle to adapt. Your breathing and footsteps echo all the way up to the spiral staircase. A shadow extends long into the chamber, turning irregular over the floor's jagged rocks. As your eyes settle down, you gaze upon it. A show at how gargantuan it is, the shadow of a man. Asterion sitting against one of the chamber's walls, looking at you, at his beast stretching from your feet. His stare is vacant, but his chin is dripping sweat. Asterion, I am sorry. I did not know he would do that. I thought he only wanted to talk, and that is what, fuck. Asterion, I am sorry. I did not know he would do that. I thought he only wanted to talk, and that is the only way to get the mirror. No, it wasn't. Shut up. Could have stole it from him. You kneel in front of him, but his gaze does not budge. Asterion? The flame in his eye socket flickers up to you. He speaks, but his voice is different, stilted, broken, quieter. No, it is my fault. I should have. He seems to choke on his own words, with a violent fit of coughing, almost as if he was about to puke his lungs out. He hunches over, and then you hear it. A whistling coming from the Minotaur's throat as it closes. He struggles to breathe. With one hand, he gasps his own throat. With the other, he supports his own weight. You move to touch him, but as your shadow covers his head, he looks up to you and nearly tumbles away from you. But something catches his attention, the mirror you're holding. Sorry, I'm tired. Okay. Yeah. Last night was Halloween, and it sucked. On the blink of an eye, his aversion becomes hunger. He extends his hand up to the mirror. Maybe I should read a Halloween novel real quick for this one later. It is Halloween. You barely have enough time to think. You just let him remove it from your grasp. He hugs it and collapses to his side. The Minotaur still struggles to breathe, but there is a peace in him. As he caresses the old bronze with his fingers, your shadow, long and terrible, covers him. You crouch to rub his back, but you feel it tense under your touch. Okay, maybe I should go to bed. Nah. Asterion does not look up to you. His eyes close as he hugs his precious mirror. You sit down with your back against the wall to wait. Oh. Sorry. It takes a handful of minutes before the Minotaur's breathing becomes irregular and he opens his eye. I'm sorry. I didn't know he would do that. He promised he wouldn't hurt you. No, it is my fault. I should have told Master about the foreman. He's an old thing from the labyrinth. His shape changes every now and then, and he disappears for a few years at a time, even decades. But the foreman has existed for millennia now. His role too is to torture me. So that's why you're afraid of him. He hurt you. He lets out a long drawn out sigh. There are worse things in the valley. What he did to me is not as terrifying as what the monsters can do. There are horrible things out there, creatures made by the gods themselves. I suspect Argos is one of them, just gifted with more intelligence and bloodlust. He coils further around his precious mirror. The valley is beautiful, isn't it, Master? It's a sight to behold, but to me it's terrifying. A beautiful place can be held to. For millennia, I was tortured there. Just for being down there makes me sick. The flickering flame in his skull is aimed at you. May we return now? We can start the hotel's restoration. Sure. Want some help getting out? That won't be necessary. The Minotaur rolls over and stands up on his own. You have to stop a few times to let Asterion rest, but eventually you do make it up to the ground floor and to the lounge. Within the lounge, glorious and eaten away by time. This looks like a bar room. Glorious and eaten away by time, you and Asterion find a suited covered hearth. Right across the bar, it is circled by a set of armchairs. They're leather and cracked up and dried, but no amount of damage can hide the amount of talent within they were made. Sunlight falls in front of the hearth, coming from the tall glass windows of the lounge. Asterion kneels before the hearth. In a prayer-like position, he lays the mirror aside for a moment and summons the logs of wood and fine dried hay, but then places the hay at the mirror's local point. The beam-focused sunlight heats up the hay. You and Asterion wait. Decades ago, had the fire gone out, I would have been punished. Tending to it was one of my many duties, and failing to do so was the gravest mistake I could make. Once it is lit again, the hotel will come back to life. This realm is quite unlike the world outside, is it not? It is hard for me to even remember what it was like when I was alive. Back home, when I was just a boy, I went out hunting for wild goats with one of my brothers, finding our own food and bringing it back home. Our father would take me out to the fields. People believed that I would bring them luck and good harvest. Food is harvested or hunted, wood is chopped down, homes are built with sweat and stone. But this world operates under different rules. The gods built this world where we were born knowing well that we were fated to toil and suffer. Such is the fate of man. While you're alive, shine, have no grief at all. Life exists only for a short while. Time demands his due. The gods appreciated the suffering of mortals, so they chose instead not to bind this realm by the same rules. If one wishes to inflict pain, he must chop down a tree and work the wood into a spear, and then mine and refine the metal for its head. But here my jailer could summon, break, and summon spears to his heart's content. Why waste time working the land when he could easily summon all the food his body craves? So too could he bend the rule of life and space itself, the architecture of reality. The master's will is sovereign reign. Wait, can we just become immortal then? As Asterion speaks, the hay twists as it dries further, and then darkens and emits a fine smoke. The pure flame will soon be at hand. The gods, however, seldom grasp human ingenuity. Change confuses them. They would gladly go by centuries without changing, repeating the same days forever and ever. I saw that with my own eyes. I may be a monster, but I am half human. Change comes easily to me as well. I have shifted with each century, adapting to my master's will, doing whatever it took. A sliver of fire rises from the hay. Asterion picks it up, not caring for whether or not he gets burned, and places it between the logs. What about the clothes, bro? No! And yet, it is not said humans have a spark of divine. It's what separates them from beasts, I would assume. I have the divine in me as well, and I fear it, I do. Neither a beast nor a human, much less a god. And dead, of course. Forever dead. All of that I said, I would rather have been a human. Live my days, toil, perish, knowing I was blessed with which is essentially human. But humans' ingenuity at times goes too far. There are things the hotel cannot accomplish, no matter how much one tries. Man cannot be made immortal, for starters. The gods would not have been so lenient. Neither can the dead be brought back. The hotel will not make gold or silver in large quantities, and it will never print currency. Most important of all, the realm needs precise instructions on what it is intended to fabricate. As powerful as a master may be, he can never be made into a god. That is a fundamental rule of the labyrinth. A pure fire fitting for the gods. The gods are gone from the stories guests have told over the centuries. It seemed to me that the world outside as well is well on its way to leaving the myth and magic behind. But their power lingers, and offering to them, may it be heard, in the labyrinth will never be let go of the fundamental rules. But their power lingers. An offering of them may still be heard, and the labyrinth will never let go of those fundamental rules. A man remains a man. While you live, shine, and have no grief at all. Life exists only for a short while, and time demands his due. Have you listened to that song before, Master? I have heard a woman from Ephesus sing that. She said her husband wrote it for her when she died. A lot of people took to singing it down there, whether in the asylum or Tartarus. Life is short. For some more than others, it ought to be enjoyed. Whoever bequeathed you the hotel's deed gave you a gift greater than any fortune. This place and I will tend to your needs. You can live a blessed life, and if you allow this place to fulfill its man-made purpose, to give a respite to those lost and wandering, it will give your life meaning as well. Even an existence as wretched as mine can have beauty, my lord. It is my duty to inform you of such matters, although I must say I am sorry for rambling. Don't worry about it at all. I like listening to you. This is fine, talking like this in front of the fire. I can't say I've fully figured out how this hotel works and what's going on, but this is a nice moment, don't you think? The Minotaur grumbles under his breath. The flames look like an ordinary fire, but something pulls your attention to it. For a long time, hours, maybe, you and Asterion gaze at it. At the back of your mind, you can hear the hotel creaking and twisting, furniture dragging itself here and there, fabric ripping and sewing itself back up. Sorry, I'm gonna drink something. My mouth is dry. You can just, at the corners of your vision, notice a lounge remaking itself. Are we forced to stare at this thing as it, repairs the whole hotel? The sun drags itself from the sky. At some point, a vague shape materializes between you and Asterion, a wine bottle. The Minotaur is just as sluggish as you as he manages to pick it up and open it. Much like last night, he drinks it directly from the bottle, although this time he proves to be much managing his half-skeletal mouth. But your attention is pulled back to the fire. The flames dim under the hardy look, until settling down into a barely lit embers. Perhaps it tricks your eyes, but the hearth's flames. A scene unfolds. There are you and Asterion in the lounge. It shifts and sways. At times it reverts into an archaic tavern, its floor lined with ceramic tiles, and its walls covered by barrels of aging wine. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I'm not used to reading. Then it leaps ahead, so what you can only believe is future, but as if its fire is indecisive. Who are you? Dang. At times you see a classy restaurant and a finely dressed patrons with wide figured behind the bar. It's a scenic place, but one with an underlying strictness that some could consider stifling. But there is another possibility. A rowdy place, perhaps even lascivious and scantily clad man managing it. Scantily. Okay. The kind of place where one would live out unforgetful shenanigans, both disgraceful and re-energizing. These two visions for the lounge seem to struggle against each other. A weight falls on your shoulders. The flames repeat the vision again and again, pushing you to make a choice. The hotel demands an answer. What is your will? Okay. What the heck? um, I'll keep it here. What kind of loud? I think we're gonna go with classy and strict. Why do we want horny? Why? Who would want that? Horny in a public place is crazy. As you make your choice, a scene of finality descends, as if you had broken a seal or perhaps signed a contract. Also, I like the bird. I do like the bird. I think he'll be a route character. I bet he is. Are there routes in this game? But then, like, they wouldn't add sprites just to not add them, right? Maybe. I don't know. I like the dragon. I like the bird much more, but like horny, wow. Says something about me though. You are pulled out of your meditation. Asterion looks at as well to the fire, unfazed by what happened. I was afraid I'd be locked in here forever. It kept coming back to me. Was this the fate of the gods? Were they locked away somewhere, struck and forgotten? Is that why they disappeared? If only I could disobey Master Clement's orders. I would have rammed that door down on the very same day he threw me in. But I couldn't. I could not disobey my master. Neither can I disobey you. For all those years I thought, oh, sorry. There was nothing else I could do, and my body was rotting away. I thought about all that could happen, every little possibility. I wish I could tell you that I dreamed, and indeed at times I allowed myself to hope. But more often than not, I thought about all the bad that could happen next, every possibility. None of it matters, however. The hotel is returning to life. It's almost like I'm going crazy. I thought I'd never see another living soul. When you turn, you are greeted with a new sight. A rebuilt lounge. I'm sorry, I'm like dazed. Whoa. Rebuilt lounge. An afternoon sun outside and an entirely different Asterion. What the heck? You look like a angsty teenager. You look like you remind me of Fred from Scooby-Doo. But it's not a dream. We are here. I just want to get back to my life. My hotel, my guests, voices bouncing down the hallways, food and drink for all, listening to their stories well into the night. At times, I would sneak out during the night while Master Jean Mary slept. I'd meet up with a friend, a mathematician from the New World, and we'd talk on and on about infinity and about the hotel's architecture. We'd bring wine and get way too drunk and rowdy. He looks happy. Then the kitchen staff joined us, and later that night, time receptionist. We'd hang out by the kitchen's back door, outside with a radio blaring from inside. We'd listen to the French songs of all night long. I'd summon cigarettes for them. I didn't smoke myself, but I'd return reeking of tobacco. I'd always have to take a bath before Master woke up. And in turn, they'd ask Jean Mary to put me in their crews. And I'd just not do too much. Wait, what? And I'd just not do much. Oh, and I'd just not do much. Just enjoy their company. Spending a day with friends, talking, laughing, not a care in the world. I'm gonna sneeze. No. Oh my god. It's like there in my nose, the back of my nose. It was life. I woke up every day knowing my existence had meaning. I had a purpose. It was all that I had. And that a fiend took that from me. It was like a dream. It was as if all my past had never happened, and I could live a fantasy of doing something good. Each and every day was a marvel. It was good and kept me from the nightmares. It didn't matter if the masters treated me well or not, because they were not my life. I had friends, and a reason to be. I wasn't the Minotaur from Crete, or some tortured prisoner. I was a Styrian. That's all. And chances there were they didn't know what got me put here in the first place. But the dream had to come to an end. I just had to. I died once in Crete, and again in Clement, kicked me out of all my guests. All my other deaths, tortured by masters from centuries ago, were small compared to those. It isn't fair. I am a monster. I know my crimes, but what did my guests do? Nothing to deserve being kicked out of their home. We had veterans recovering from shell shock, soldiers still healing from their wounds, refugees from fronts. We built a purpose for this place. No thanks to God. And that selfish fiend destroyed it. I know how unworthy I am. That me being born was an atrocity on its own right. But the guests, my guests, what did they do? I would have endured everything all over again, a dozen times if only it meant they'd have a home. Because then at least I could rest knowing my pain was for something. I am sorry. I forget my place when I drink, Master. This won't happen again. It was awfully out of place. It's fine, though I give you permission to speak freely with me, didn't I? And I meant it. If you are bothering me, I would have told you to stop already, so you can relax. I suppose I want to learn more about what went through. I keep thinking this will all end at any moment now, and that I will wake up in that room. Astyrion's gaze wanders, and it seems that only now he realizes the vast change in the lounge. The hotel is alive again. But it's not a dream, you'll see. It may take a while for you to believe me, but it's true. And I meant what I said. I want to be a good master to the hotel, and to you. The Minotaur sighs and looks away. He's about to say something. His face grows cold in a nearly professional solemnity. But he stops himself again. One last time he looks at you. I am sure that Master will. His lip trembles, his eye narrows down. Such a big boy. Asterian's nostrils flare as he breathes in and breathes out. His gaze returns, icy cold. Of course, master. Of course you do. Long live the hotel's great lord. Could the servant persuade you to enjoy a drink? Hey, you don't gotta look angry when you say that. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I didn't do anything wrong. I know I made you, like, do all that, but, like... You nod and tell Asterion about your favorite drinks. The Minotaur busies himself with your request. His scowl fades not long after. Asterion goes behind the new lounge's counter. His hands caress the wood, feeling its smooth, almost sensual texture. He nods without looking at you. Now I can assure you I'll make something quite extraordinary, he says while caressing the hotel, with a gaze brimming of pride and love. For a moment, it even seems as if you did not exist. Oh, what a wonderful moment that we will have. Just like it used to be. People all over again. We won't be so lonely. The Minotaur looks up at you. Not me, sorry. Looks at the bottles on the wall. You don't recognize any of the labels. I was about to say labels. What? Even if you can guess their contents, it would seem these are all in the house productions. Asterion, however, seems at home. His gaze wanders for only a moment before it gains a knowledgeable tinge. He selects the necessary bottles, and sets out to make you a drink. I am dying. Thirst. Forgive me. He starts by washing a cup. It already shone when the Minotaur picked it up from the counter, as if it had been polished for its first use. But he insists on doing it. The water is on, and there is even a fresh bar of soap near the sink. It's as if the entire place had been tidied up by a disciplined cleaning crew. The Minotaur holds on to a smile, eyes half closed, as if he runs his fingers on the glassware and all the equipment he will use. He takes his sweet time becoming acquainted with the new environment, then pouring your drink. At times he shows a bit of clumsiness, no doubt a consequence of downing an entire bottle of wine. Wow, you are, How? You're huge. Asterion gingerly slides the cup to you, on top of a napkin. He finally looks back to your eyes, acknowledging your existence. His voice comes out with the slightest inflection of a smile. I am not quite there yet. I will get better still. I just need more to practice. I just need to practice more to polish up my old self. I rarely ever manage the lounge. I'm acquainted with it, of course, but there are always better bartenders around. But I enjoy it. So soothing, the precision that goes through mixing drinks. Asterion lays his forearm on the counter and supports his weight on it. His tail swishes lazily behind him. Oh my god, he can move! I wasn't ever the best cook either. I do well enough to please the master. You will see. But working in the kitchen requires agility. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. I could spend 10 days chopping a single tomato. What? No, 10 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry. Not 10 days, guys. Not 10 days. I could spend 10 minutes chopping a single tomato, making sure all the pieces were the same size. However, Master Jean-Mary had me do exactly that for a few times. Cooking is a very intimate thing, Master. Back when Master Jean-Mary was alive, my shifts helped me with the kitchen staff would amount to the most standing in a corner chopping a few onions per hour. No, Jean Mary sucks. You like him, but I hate him. S- Ugh, I hate you, Jean. Working with my hands is very relaxing, even if I'm not terribly dexterous. Is it? Okay. It may surprise you, but I only learned to cook, how to measure ingredients, read recipes, season food, just a few centuries ago. No one taught me how, back in Crete, and when I was in the labyrinth, I did not have much to cook with. Father would send food shipments. Oh, no matter, it is improper of me to unload something like that on anyone, let alone master. Happier subjects abound. The Minotaur turns back and picks out a bottle of wine. It is different from the previous bottles he found. It is a minimalistic label and a more modern shape. Asterion pours a glass for himself. What do you talk about next? We have choices. Um, Sorry about that. I have like, nah, you guys don't get to know about me. My life is secret. Favorite foods, favorite memory. So I'm curious about Master Clement came along. Before Master Clement came along, what did you do for fun here? For fun? I suppose I've had a number of leisure activities over the ages, ever since the hotel was built, at least. I didn't have the means, but I've been an avid reader for a while. Mind you, I come from from a time long, long ago, long before the printing press. Printing press. I learned to read the Cretan language from my brothers by writing and reading letters in the sand. Dang. There was no paper during those times, and stories were recited from memory. Even today, the hotel can't manifest books. We still depend on receiving shipments from the outside world. But when the master saw fit to give me some, I always enjoyed reading material. Poetry, mainly, but how can I put it? Hold up, Sorry, I think my lizard fell. I think he's okay? I'm gonna go check on him. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. I think. I think he got his tail stuck. Okay. Or like, yeah. He's fine. Lizard's fine, guys. I am curious about how the world outside is doing. I can never see it for myself, but when I read the stories, I can imagine. I often wondered how different reality is from when I imagined, and how much it has changed. Master Jean Mary insisted I read the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He even showed me a few drawings of the cathedral, which he drew himself from memory. But I do wonder, what must I feel to be there? How haunting it must be. Guys, I swear I've never read this. I've never read this. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is just a very memorable movie. I've never read the book. Me and my brother would read, or not read, we would watch that movie together. I've never been in a church. I died long before Christ, but the guests have told me all about him. Stained glass windows, tall mighty pillars, the arches. One's voice echoes through the way of the entrance. And the wooden benches? I wonder what Notre Dame de Paris must look like today, but it must feel like a walk alone. What it must feel like to walk alone through it, seeing all the statues of apostles. Sometimes I'd even dream about what I was reading. That was a mercy like no other. There are a few things better than a good book, although that hardly counts as my main pastime, since book have always been has been so scarce. My lyre has been my dear friend for centuries now. Master can guess that I must be awfully rusty after all those years locked away. As I said, I also enjoyed spending time with the guests. Who doesn't like being around friends? But I suppose for me it's just different. It makes me feel normal as a Minotaur can be, which isn't much. I didn't always tell them about my past. The Minotaur is entitled to know. Oh, my master is entitled to know, of course, and a few of them were informed, but only those I chose. More often than not, I did not want them to know. It only got in the way. It was already difficult enough making friends, and it opened a series of questions I'd rather not answer every day. What were you doing? What were you doing? Asterion bites his lip and sighs. There is one thing I greatly enjoyed, but it hardly counts as leisure activity, and I wouldn't want to bother Master by rambling on. Wait, what do you say? Sorry, like sometimes. We're gonna pry. What do you think we're doing? Go on, what is it? It truly is nothing, my lord. Nothing you should worry about. Forgive me. Really? It's no problem, you can trust me. Oh, I know. It is just that I'd rather not bother my lord with inane comments of my frivolous topic. Is there everything else you would like to know? Or anything else you'd like to know? What kind of frivolous topic you talking about, dude? What was life like in Crete? Life back in Crete? Now that, my memory is hazy, to say the least. It's been so long, I'm not sure what I remember is even correct. But Crete was quiet. Was quite the power back then. That was before Athens gained traction. I was raised in the palace of Knossos. It was an immense, sprawling building. Okay, sorry guys with all that. Perhaps the greatest. Okay, what is my lizard doing? He's fine. What are you doing? You chasing them around? Like, stop fighting. I swear my lizard is okay. I think he's like seeing his reflection. Maybe you'll get a picture of him. It was an immense, sprawling building, perhaps the greatest the world had ever seen at the time. I had many siblings. We played when I was allowed to. I couldn't leave the palace often, but I used to sneak out with my brothers to go hunting wild goats. Okay, I think my lizard is being dumb. I'm gonna hold him to calm him down. Alright guys, I found out why he was being dumb. Alright. Hello. I am back. I returned. He's splashing the water around now. Oh my god. I got a very... I don't know how to say it, but energetic lizard. He keeps me up at night. I was swift-footed. My hooves helped me get across Crete's hard, volcanic soil. I had a mother and a father, like any other child. That's about it, I suppose. Does Master have any other questions? Food. My favorite memory. My favorite memory. Now that's a tough question. Asterion drinks more of his wine, then rubs his hand against the counter. He sighs, looking to you, then looks back to the ground again a few times. Very hard question, but I think I know. There was a master, Sir Bernard. He was the labyrinth's lord for a few decades and then passed it down to his son, Sir Robert. When Sir Bernard was on his deathbed, his son transferred the ownership back to him for a day. The hotel's returning master, Sir Bernard, wrote and signed a contract, except it was just a letter to me, thanking me for everything. Sir Robert took over again, and of course he prepared me something too. I helped to raise him, you see, and gathered all his childhood drawings of me, and signed him as a contract as well. Contracts are everlasting, unless explicitly revoked, so their contracts would last forever. They can't be burned or torn apart, nothing will destroy them. That is my dearest memory, Robert's and Bernard's gift to me. The contracts they are everlasting, but I know Clement tore apart the ledger where we kept them. They must be hidden away somewhere. Eventually I'll find them again, even if it takes me years. After all, I have all the time in the world, don't I? The Minotaur takes another swig of his wine. He sways left and right, his eyes half closed. I have another memory, just as sweet. When I was in the underworld, I made friends. One of them gifted me a statue of a red ox. I mean, you look like a red ox. He was a herder in life. It was fitting, of course. I bought it with me. I brought it with me to this place. The only thing I managed to bring. It was supposed to be in my room, but again, Clement. I was loved. The letters and statues, I cherished them dearly. But love needs no gift to be remembered. Asterion looks down again. He holds He holds the wine bottle against his chest. Is there something else Master Clement would like to know? What are your favorite foods? My favorite food? Master should not worry about that. I eat the leftovers. Anything will do for me. And it's not like I can die from starvation. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter to me. Oh, okay, sorry. Trying to hide this. But surely there are things you prefer, or foods you won't eat? Any allergies? Well, if Master truly wishes to know, I don't. I'd rather not eat beef, and I have not for thousands of years now. It would be cannibalism. So, it's usually poultry and fish for me, or... Dude, you are not eating fish and poultry. You eat something. Like, you gotta be eating, like, chicken, maybe? Well, I did hunt wild goats with my brothers back in Crete. I liked it a lot. It's one of my favorite foods by far. I didn't get to eat meat often when I was a child. It was a luxury of sorts, and the shipments of the labyrinth rarely had any. It would rot on the way, so they wouldn't even try. Goat aside, for the longest time, oats were the best thing I could get. Even today, I have a liking for porridge. When the conversation actually exhausts itself, you both let inertia carry into the comfortable silence. A warm buzz of alcohol into your system does much to ease a day's drudgery, as does the newly rekindled hearth. Fires convive crackle. The seats bear your weight admirably. Are we heavy, despite their age? The rustic scent of the wood smoke and fine leather upholstery makes the relaxation as effortless as breathing. Though you and Asterion are the only current occupants of the lounge, things seem a little livelier than the stark row of unacclaimed stools would suggest. but the hotel's in improving condition. Each one of the brims over the potential for future patrons to serve. There's something about Firelight's ability to captivate the heart that harkens the back of the back to time, immemorial. I'm not gonna try. As though written into your bones by the struggles of your ancestors, the dancing shadows stir an impulse that your mind can only dimly direct. For a moment, Asterian's presence is so insubstantial that you feel alone with your thoughts. Out of the corner of your eye, you see his bovine brow crease, eyes slowly flicking back and forth between you and the fireplace. His mouth opens soundlessly for a moment, but closes just as quickly as though the subtlest... Sorry, guys. Sometimes I like pop my chest. The subtlest perturbation of the air would be enough. No. I'm sorry. Skip. Alright. In the soft light, Asterian's countenance grows soulful and then cold and lucid. Perhaps as a corner of his immortal body, he seems to sober up more quickly than you were expecting. His gaze finally settles on the fire and stone-faced focused on a trained guard alert, but betraying no further signs of his feelings. You cannot say how many hours you two have spent before the fireplace, looking with a simple wrap of attention at the flame. Heedless of the passage of time, the greedy moment stretches on as long as the compulsions your biology will allow it to. The feeling of your chin hitting your chest eventually jolts you from their quiet reverie. You didn't even notice you were starting to nod off. Bleary-eyed, weathered in inebriation or fatigue, you check your phone. It's almost midnight. Asterian furtively steals a glimpse of the clock on your smartphone screen, but raises no comment about it. Curiosity waylaid by duty, he speaks at last. It is quite late, master. Would it please you if I prepared dinner before you retire for the night? Choices. You can see no reason to refuse Asterian's offer. The walk back to your quarters is blessedly brief, and you quickly take a seat on the couch and make ready for the evening meal. While your Minotaur manservant prepares your dinner, there is a little to do except lounge on the couch and savor the smells of what waft from the private kitchen. You continue to lapse in and out of your consciousness every so often, torn between the gnawing hunger in your belly and the sudden weight on your eyelids. Asterian presents you with food in a short order, bringing a tray of ham steak and mashed potatoes to the couch to spare you the need to walk to the table. To your tipsy, sleep-fogged brain, that is me right now, it seems a veritable feast. You tear into it with the gusto of a starving man. As you sit up and start to eat, Asterian seems faintly content to see you enjoying his cooking. But old habits die hard nonetheless. The Minotaur bows dutifully before cantering away to let you enjoy your meal in solitude. He has gone before you can think to ask him to join you, and though you know he is but a simple shout away, you think better of asking anything else of him. Once your hunger is sated, sleep is upon you in a moment. You set the light tray down, at the side of the couch and close your eyes. The last sounds you hear are the faint click of Asterian's hooves against the floor and the jingling of silverware as he carries your leftovers back to the kitchen. Hades. Arrival. The doorknob clicks behind Asterion. His smile persists as he holds on the warmth from his night. The Minotaur's cheeks hurt from smiling, an unfamiliar sensation after decades of locked away. His throat too is sore from talking. Whatever he tries to say only comes out raspy and croak now. He recovers his recovering body surprises him at times. Oh, sorry, my own croaking voice is raspy now. How it doesn't hurt to move anymore. How quick. Sorry. I gave my whole jug of water to the lizard because he was just jumping in it. He was like splashing it around, so like I just gave it to him. How it doesn't hurt to move anymore. How quick he has seen it, even on a slow pace. This renewed strength surprises him. He had a difficult time handling the fragile glass and small, delicate tools back, back in the lounge. Similarly, closing the door without slamming it behind him just now was tricky. And yet, he is alone in this room. There is silence. And a silence like this after any night, when one's cheeks end up hurting from smiling, is as oppressive as being whisked away from paradise. Silence can be unforgivable. The master's voice and breathing, the slight shift in furniture as he moved around the room, the sounds of his own footsteps, or hoofsteps, it's all gone. There are no eyes. There are no eyes watching him, nothing to say or do in this barren bedroom. He lays on the bed, looking up to the ceiling. The bedroom has no windows, just a slight light bulb shining overhead. Asterion swishes his tail, the tuft of his hair, at, it, at its ends to provide him with a single sound. He clutches his pillow beneath his head, his fingers contort into shaking fists, and the light imprints of a stain on his eyes. Huh. The corners of his healed mouth hurt. It's been decades since he even smiled this much, let alone there be no distraction from the dark thoughts about that master and all the humans for the matter. Humanity is a sentence by itself, he thinks. To only be a half human and to be ruled over those I'll never be like. Huh. The Minotaur wonders how large is a gap that keeps men from going wild. It is easy to show goodness at first, like Clement did, but eventually they grow bored. And bored men are dangerous indeed. How long will it take for this master to learn? The Minotaur wonders. It usually starts simple though. At first it becomes like their plaything. Or no, wait. At first he becomes their plaything, a doll. Ew. Don't do that. Stop it. Get some help. That's cringe. But it won't stop there. Humans seek new thrills often. Clement was a special case. A man started out good, but went wild like none before. But yes, there are many masters who had this same seed in him, only it germinated it slower. Even Master Jean Mary had it, to an extent. There was that time. Asterion jolts up, stopping him from progressing down that road. There were thoughts too dark, such a late hour. And what does it matter now, thinking about the well-buried dead? His mind goes back to the current master. A single good night does not make up for a terrible past and a frightening future. Asterion thinks back to Argos and his contract, and how the master handled it. Despite the Minotaur's wishes, Lucian had sent him to the valley. Shivers run from the back of the skull down his spine. Maybe it was just one mistake. He didn't know better. It may, wait, what? Sorry. It may not be malice, but Memories of Clement keep assaulting him. He knows he must be cautious. He wished it would not be the. What? I'm sorry. He knows he must be cautious. He wished it would not be the case, but he has played this scenario over and over in his head, like in the decades he was locked up in the cold room. There isn't much he can do against Master's commands, but there are contingencies. The Minotaur keeps thinking to himself, to exhaustion, analyzing every possibility regarding this new master. He does not notice the drowsiness setting in, nor sleep's merciful embrace. The Minotaur dreams. A field of white flowers swayed a chilly breeze. He was lying face down on the soil, and the flower stalks and leaves tickled his back as if trying to rouse him from sleep. The soil was damp, pet, and smelled of petrichor and dense vegetation. Asterion caressed it, scratched it, felt the sand's water seeping into his fur. Everything hurt, but with every heartbeat, his head and his eyes were hammered. His whole body burned in exhaustion, dizziness, and nauseous. But above all, his neck. It burned as if a searing hot metal wire strangled him. The Minotaur tried breathing, but it was as if his lungs couldn't pull any air. It would have made him despair I'm like dumb as heck right now. Where if it not for overwhelming pain distracting him. Time passed, how long he could not tell. Asterion had only the soil damp, and their aromatic, and the flowers swaying above him. He dug into the lonely ground, the coarse texture slipping around his fingers. He made the pain bearable. And then a chill ran from his skull down his spine and to the tip of his tail. He breathed a lungful of air, and he could hear his own ragged grunts of relief. The Minotaur flicked his ears as his full senses returned. The swaying around, he could hear it again, now alongside the rustling leaves. He propped his chest up, supporting himself on the burning forearms, and taste came back to him. Iron. He coughed, and cold, dark blood poured out from his mouth. It fell on the white fur of his hand. His tongue remained coated in a black oil. It was bitter tasting, like forge's fumes smelled. He knew the scent well. As if he tried to gather himself, the blood dripped down to the soil. His fur remained matted with the red while the dark oil dripped down. Cursed blood, he thought. But something else came to mind as well. The chill that brought him back. It was under his tongue, a hard, icy lump. He tried to spit it out, to no avail. His insides lurched, and he lost control. He retched, but nothing would come out. It was another hour before he managed to stand up and see the horizon. There was no sky above, only a sharp-edged rocks, pointing down like knives. The horizon itself was painted with serpentine rivers, their waters crashing around and leaving foamier trails. The land was dark, and yet light seemed to seep from all surfaces. The ceiling, stalactites, shone with turquoise. The field of flowers blinked in white lights when the breeze blew by. The soil itself shone with a subdued, almost royal purple, and the breeze had freshness to it. The river's crashing waters filled the air with droplets. The water dripped here and there from the ceiling with an almost lazy grace, like a god slipping gifts from the people below from above. A man waited by the river's shore, Looking up to the Minotaur, he beckoned, and right there, Asterian's mind was set at ease. This beautiful land was his mercy. The knot in his throat and the lump under his tongue would be the final pains he'd ever feel. He had been freed. Chapter 5. Soft opening. Okay. We'll stop the part here, or end the video here. Saturday, November 1st. Wow. Last I recorded is like a month ago, or a few weeks ago. Dang. Or a week ago. Okay, where's the title screen? I saved this, right? Just making sure. You know, we're gonna go back. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Music. Oh. I'm going to say this guy. He's a torturer, right? I was gonna say before. He has many different forms. What if, like, I'm thinking to myself, I thought he was a half bull, but like he's wearing bull skin, it looks like, but then does he kill bulls basically? No. That would be very sad if he did. Oh, I would hate this man forever. I would hate him. I don't like him already. Like, look at him, snake form. See, I like the snake. I like if he was a snake bull hybrid, but like, he's just a snake. You know, in Ninjago, never trust a snake. Oh, we're not gonna trust this guy. But I don't know. Much else about it? I did not expect him to get all red. And I promise you, I brought up the Hunchback in Notre Dame because it was one of the greatest movies, I think, by Disney that I've watched with my brother. I miss my brother. Yeah, great video. I'm gonna try to add an intro and outro later. I'm just like working on my animating skills, guys. I promise. I am not. I'm terrible at this. Thank you for watching. And maybe consider staying with the channel, liking it. I mean, I'm not gonna beg for it, but like I am begging right now. I'm not gonna. But like, just consider it. It's still there. It's a thing. If you want to watch more videos like this one, or by me, I mean, I'm not that good, but like, you can watch me grow. All right, guys, have a good night or good morning. All right, good night, good morning, goodbye, good day, whatever it is for you guys. Have a good new day. I'll see you later. Bye.
Music licensing reimagined.